Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. Today I thought I'd come on and do a tutorial for a fruit basket or a berry basket where you don't need any dies, you don't need any uh, Cricut or silhouette machines or anything like that. It's all done by hand. And the reason I'm doing this one is in my swap group, Crafty Swaps with Friends over on Facebook. Link it down below if you'd like to join. We're going to do a fruity fruit theme for the month of April. So, our requirements for it is one decorated fruit basket, berry basket, a bag or a box. You can buy this, you can make it. It's not, we're not real sticklers about the rules. You do you and craft your way, whatever makes you comfortable. Okay. An Dex or ATC, which is a artist trading card, and I need your info on it. You know, your name, maybe your birthday, your address, maybe some of the things you like, something you don't like. It doesn't really matter. Just some info on there. One sweet treat. Could be anything. There's fruit slices out there. There's all kinds of fruity candies. So include at least one little sweet treat. A fruity type sequin mix. At least 2 tablespoons so that, you know, you can make a couple shakers out of it. And one crafter's choice. This can be handmade. It could be store-bought. It doesn't matter. Maybe you find some really cute fruit containers you want to, include in your swap. Doesn't mean you got to fill them up. You can leave them empty, and the crafter could use them in the craft room to store maybe some sequins or some little, bubble beads or some little sequin mixes or something. And this is a one-on-one swap. I'll pick partners, and the partners are going to be paired up on the 28th of March and get them sent out by April 25th. And if you include an extra, that is fine, but please do not expect extras back unless you talk to your partner and you agree that you want to send extras. All right, so let's get on to the tutorial. So here's the little berry basket that I made up. And it's nothing spectacular. It's just a little basket. And it's inspired by Paper Sweets on YouTube. Now, she does this little tiny one, and she makes it out of one whole sheet of paper. We're going to use 2 pieces of paper. So this measures about 3 and 3.5, 3 3/4, somewhere in there. You know, mine's not perfectly square, and I'm not worried about it. It's gonna do the job. It's cute, and the paper that I use is a Creative Fabrica digital print. Now, when you do yours, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have strawberries. You could have lemons, you could have limes, you could have a mixed fruit. It doesn't matter. Or something fruity colored, a plaid or a stripe that has, a fruity color, like Fruit Loops. The colors, red, yellow, green, whatever. Like I said, I'm not picky. It's for you to enjoy yourself in craft. Like I always say, you do you. Craft, and please, don't stress over it. Don't stress out. Just, have fun with it. Don't stress. Okay, so what do we need? Well, there's a few items that I have. I have a corner rounder, which I didn't use in this one, but you can if you'd like. I'll show you what you could do. Some tape if you want tape, some ribbon, some wet glue if you don't like to use tape, I have some little strawberry cabochons in here. Any cabochons. This one I got these off of Instagram. I'll link it down below. I can't remember her name. I know it's Rose something, but she has a name, a business name, but I'll link it down below. Some strawberry cabochons. And a pencil. And I'm going to use some decorative edge scissors. That's how I did the edge of my paper. Maybe you have a die. Maybe you don't want any. You don't have to. Just leave it plain. A stylus. This one I got from Temu. And it has like 4 or 5 different, I think 1, 2, 4 different sizes. There's like a large and then it goes down. And so you might need a stylus. You need a paper trimmer and a scoreboard, which I didn't set those out because they just get in my way. A ruler, maybe. I have 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. This is the cardstock from Joann Fabrics, which, you know, they went out of business, so I don't know what I'm going to do. These were those big packs by Park Lane. And then this is a digital print from Creative Fabrica. I'll link it down below. Okay, folks, that's what we've got. So let's get ourselves started here. Give me some room to cut here. Alrighty. So I'm going to get out my cutter here, my paper trimmer. I'm going to open this up. And the first, we're going to need 2 pieces that are 5 by 8.5. Okay? So I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to go to 5. So if you have 8.5 by 11 paper and would rather use that, there you go. There, I tried to do it for both. I didn't have an 8.5 by 11 paper, so we're going to do 5 here. You're going to have this little piece left over. Now, if you want to trim this down and maybe put a handle on your little basket and have a little berry basket like that, you're more than welcome to do that even. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm not going to be using that right now. This one I'm going to set aside because I'll use this here in a little bit. And I'm just going to have a little tiny square out of it. I tried, guys. I tried to get it all on one, but it just wouldn't work. Now, if you want to just do a white bottom or a piece of your decorative paper that you got left over instead of cutting into a new sheet, by all means, that's even fine. All right, scoreboard. Don't mind my scoreboard. All right, now we need our stylus, wherever I have laid that now. Okay, here we are. Boy, get it together this morning, Cal. You're just not doing too good. Okay. All right, so on the 12-inch side, I haven't done a tutorial in forever, so don't mind me. We're going to score on the 12-inch side, we're going to score at 4. And at 8. And I'm sorry, we're going to cut this at 8.5. So you'll need 2. It's 5 by 8.5. Okay? 5 by 8.5, not 5 by 12. 5 by 8.5. So I need to come in here and cut this down to 8.5. Like I said, I haven't done a tutorial in so long. Alright, so then we have this one here. We're going to do the same thing on it. We're going to score at 4 and at 8. So 2 pieces that are 5 by 8.5. On the 8.5-inch side, we're going to score at 4 and 8 on both pieces. Okay, we're going to rotate this, and now on the 5-inch side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to score at 4.5. Now, if you feel more comfortable turning yours around and getting your 1/2 inch that way, you can do that. And I'm just going to score it. Okay, so there, that's all that is. Okay. So now we've got this score. I'm going to fold on the score line in the middle of the paper. So it should look like this. Okay. Now, you might want to get your ruler. If you want to eyeball it, it's all up to you. Get my pencil. And what I'm going to do is on the score line, I'm going to flip mine so that my tab is over here. Because it's just the way that's just the way I roll. I'm going to measure 1/4 inch. I'm going to make a little tick mark. I'm going to do that on both pieces. Measure 1/4 inch. Make a little tick mark. Now, if you need to draw a line, by all means do so. But where we scored that first, that 1/2 inch at the top, that's where we're gonna stop right there. So you're going to put your ruler maybe here on that and bring it down to this line. And you can draw your line and cut it with scissors or in your paper trimmer. You know, whatever makes you happy. So mark that. Don't cut off on your, don't cut off that fold at the top on that score line. So I'm going to go up 2 because we're going to need that. So you can do it like that. Or you can put it in your paper trimmer. And how I do it in the paper trimmer is I'll lay this there and then put my very edge of my corner right up by that line, making sure I have a gap where that fold is. And I'll just come in here and cut that off, and that'll look like that. So me, I do it this way because I cannot cut straight for nothing. If you're not too sure, you can stop part way and then check yourself and then get your scissors out and finish cutting it off. It's never more comfortable doing it that way. So I do have just a hair there that I need to trim. Like that. Okay. And the only bad part about that is now I've got to go through here and erase my score lines, and that pencil eraser stinks. It's the only thing about the old Dollar Tree pencils. If you have them for over a lengthy amount of time, I probably had this thing for 4 or 5 years. The erasers get hard and brittle and yucky, and they don't erase, they just smear. So, okay, we got that done. Okay, now, we got 2 of those. So on this part here where we have this 1/2 inch score line here, we're going to cut this all off except for that teeny tiny little corner on the very top. You see there's a corner right here. We'll leave that. So we're going to cut straight up. And I find it better for myself to cut on the back where the bump is, and I cut off that score line as best as I can, going up to that score line, and then just cut over, or you can angle it a little bit and cut that off and leave yourself that little tab. And I'll do it as the same thing on this side. Make sure you got your top up there. Like I said, I can see better. Even if sometimes if you fold your paper first, it'll help you be able to see where you're supposed to be cutting. All right, so we've got that. So you should have 2 pieces that look like this. Now, it is up to you if you want to decorate yours, well, like this, but I should have cut mine. Oh no, this is right, it's fine. Okay, so now we have a straight edge here. We need to angle this one. So once again, I'm going to measure in 1/4 of an inch. And on this side, I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to do here, 1/4 of an inch. And then, like I said, you can do it however you want to do it. Draw a line, or put this in your trimmer. Don't cut your tab off. So you can, what I like to do is fold that tab back out of my way, and then And we do the same on this one. And you could do this in your paper trimmer as well. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it's handmade. Okay, so now we've got those. Just like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to, you can see what's happening here. And I think I just, just messed mine up. So, well, I cut the wrong side. That's okay. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to use this as my line. So, which now it's probably going to be off. And I do the decor paper, but it's alright. We'll figure it out. Yep. I think I cut the wrong side. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't angle this side. Alright, just make sure all your edges have a angle where you measure it over 1/4 of an inch and then cut it. And then like up here, I don't have it cut up far enough. I'm just going to go in there and trim it up to that square line. Okay, so now I have two pieces that look like this. Like I said, folks, it's been a minute since I've done a tutorial, so bear with me. So we have these two pieces. Now, they're probably not going to be identical, and if you want them identical, fold them up and cut them however you want to do it. So we've got those. And then your decor paper, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use this, just kind of opposite of what I had. Now my printer prints, it will print borderless, but it I can, if I want to save my ink and put it on economy, I have to deal with these little white 1/8 inch borders. So I just cut them off. Okay, so your designer series paper, we are going to cut that at 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. By 3 3/4. You'll need 4 of those. Okay. Alright. Now, if you have directional paper, you might want to pay attention. Mine isn't, so it doesn't really matter. And once again, we're going to take these, and if you want to use your scoreboard, you can. To me, it's a little easier. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to tick mark this at 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to tick mark this at 3 1/2. Now you can cut off 4 pieces at one time, or you can mark each one. I'm going to mark 2 and cut 2 and 2. Sorry about these 2 here, and these 2 here. Put that in there and put my corner on the line, and then move that tick mark on the line. Same thing, tick mark. And right on the line. That was just a hair. And do the same on the other set. So you should have your 4 pieces that have little angles on them. And if they don't fit perfect, we ain't gonna worry about it. So they should fit in here like this. I'm gonna fit pretty good. I'm not tore up about it because this is gonna get folded down. So it's not that big of a deal. So you do that. And then if you would like, oh, you might want to get some black cardstock. If you'd like, that's how I did this part to make it look, but you don't have to. You can cut it the same as your, maybe your designer series paper, because you do have a couple pieces left over, and that'll be plenty to cut the little decorative pieces. Now I'm not going to add the black to it, so you know what it looks like with the black. So I'm just going to cut it with the red. And now it depends on what you want. I've been looking at the strawberry baskets online. Now some have 2 slots and some have 3. It's up to you, however you want to do it. Decorate it your way. I'm going to cut mine at, I think this was like 3/4 of an inch. No, it was not. It was a 1/2 inch. And then I cut it by, I think, 1 inch. And you'll need 8 pieces of that. Okay, so I went ahead and cut mine. See if I got 2, 4, 6. Well, I'm short one. How I did that, I don't know. No, it wasn't straight, but that's okay. Alright, so what I did is I got these out, and then I mean, if you want to measure. If you want to eyeball. But I measured in about, I laid this in my thing, and then I just came in here and kind of moved it in until the left edge was on a 1/2 inch, and then I came in here and I moved this in here until this was on 2 1/2, the right edge. Or not 2 1/2. It's 2 3/4. Yeah, 2 3/4. 2 3/4 on the right and a 1/2 inch on the left. So that's how I lined mine up. Now you can eyeball that, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't really matter. However you want to do it. If you want to cut them thinner and put 3 pieces, that's all, you know, totally up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll glue these down. All right, there we go. I've got all mine glued down there for that part. And then you can just glue these on here like so. So we're going to go ahead and we'll glue those down in a second. So if you're going to, I cut 2 of these because I thought I might need it. I don't know yet. If you want to make your edge, or if you want to use some ribbon trim, maybe some pretty ribbon trim you want to wrap around it, some rickrack, you know, whatever you want to do. I cut mine at 3/4 of an inch. I had to cut 2 of them on my 11-inch paper here, 8.5 by 11. And I'm cutting it on the, you know, the long way, cutting it 11 inches long by 3/4 of an inch. And we got that. And then, like I said, mine's got those little white edges. So I just snip mine off. Then what I do is I put mine, if I'm using these edging scissors, I will put mine in my scoreboard because, like I said, I can't cut straight. And I need all the assistance I can get. And then I just score it. I put it in there. It's 3/4 of an inch. And I score on a 1/4 inch. So that'll give me a 1/2 inch border. So I get my little scissors out. And I just put the edge, like the longest edge of my scallop goes on the line. That's how I kind of keep it straight. You just cut it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, like I said, or if you have some really pretty ribbon, maybe you have some ribbon with some strawberries, or some lemons or limes. You can do anything. Okay, so that's what I have for that. I'm going to set those aside because I don't really need them yet, but I just want to get them out of the way. We'll do the bottom of the box. We'll cut out for it when we get this all together. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue mine down. And I'll come back when I got mine down. Right, I got mine glued on. So, that. And now up here, I'm going to fold my bottom ones down. Now I have it. It's easier for me to fold towards myself than away with this paper because it's kind of thick. So make sure you get these folded down. Or if you've already folded them down, that's fine. And then, well, I had to get a smudge on that one. Oh well. It is what it is. It's a smudge. That's alright. Then this top part, you're going to fold it down. Now, if you want to fold yours on the inside, outside, whatever makes you happy is fine. Now, I like to put mine like this and then fold mine on the inside like that. So, I'll get my wet glue and a little bit of wet glue there. That glitter from something. It doesn't really matter which way it goes because you're going to cover it up. It's going to get covered up. I mean, if you're covering yours. If not, then you might want to tuck it underneath and pay attention to where you're gluing. Now, usually I'll use wet glue, but just so I can get this done, this is where I'll use a little bit of tape. That's this little thing for y'all. So, just take this off. I'm going to start at the end with my tab. And I'm going to push this down. So I'm almost, well, I got off. Only on camera. I'm going to go down to about right there. There we go. I'm got a little hump because I got off a little bit. Then I'm going to bring this around. That over, tuck that under. Like so, and then push that down. There we go. So now I've got this box part here. And then you can fold your ends in. Now, I didn't cut tabs. You know, I didn't cut these off even more. I just left them so that it would hopefully help with squaring up my box. Like that. Okay, so what I like to do is get my scoreboard. I like to stick it in this corner and kind of square it up. And that's up to you, but I'm just going to put a little glue here. Just stick mine up there in the corner. And try to keep it squared up. The best as I can. I guess that it's handmade. It's not going to be perfectly square no matter what I do to it. And I'm going to put a little on there. I need to wash my hands off. This glare is oozing. All right. Okay, there. All right. So I've got that bottom glued. And then it's up to you on how you want to do your bottom. Now, on my thing, I've got it measured it. I want to say it was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. You might want to, you can take and measure it and see what you get. So it's the same 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. So it's, don't ask me why it's different, but what, you know, whatever it is, it is. Now this will fit. I have this little spare piece that I cut off the end, and it does fit, so I'm going to use that instead of cutting into another piece. And I'm just laying this. It fits pretty good, and then I'm just going to kind of give it a bend right there. Like I said, nothing is perfect. And it's a saying it's, you know, 3 3/4. No, it's 3 1/4. 3 1/2. So this says 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. Yours might be different if you got yours squared up different. Like I said, I would measure it and then measure your paper to fit. So mine fits good that way. So I'm gonna run. Get those corners there. And I'm just gonna, and if it hangs off a bit on one side, it's fine. You can go back in and trim it. It's not a big deal. It's paper, and sometimes it just doesn't get square. So I'll go in here. Push on the bottom and see I have this is off a little bit. I'm not mad at it. I'm just going to go along there and trim it off. And she's fine. Now if you want to put a piece in the bottom, now this piece is too small, but this is where I'd use like maybe a decorative piece of paper. That you can do this without dies and machines and all that jazz. So mine's not square, I can feel it. So what I would do in that case, put my paper on the, this on the back and see, like I still got, yeah, some hanging right there. Just do that, and then I'm just tracing it on around the bottom there. Just roughly. I'm not getting excited, getting accurate or anything. I'm just getting a rough idea. So I may have cut maybe too much off. So you might want to just dry fit it first before you go chopping it all up like I did. And that fits. No, it's not so good. It's fitting a little bit better. It's still a little bit big. I can't get it out of here now. It's a little bit big on the one side. Except we just gotta, you know, you just gotta fidget with it. Yeah, that fit better. So you just cut like a little 1/16 of an inch off. And if you want to and you don't like your corners if they poke out, maybe just trim them off a little bit. But to me, that's fine. And I would glue that down. So that is that. All right, for this part here, your trim piece. Now it's up to you where I like to find my front. What I want to have is my front, okay? Because I know I got that there. I don't want that. I don't want that. It's got a little ripple. So I think I'll go with this as my front. So I get my trim. I just eyeball it, like sort of center to this. And then bend it. And bend it. Now you can either leave it like this and overlap it all the way. Me, I just like to come in here and trim off maybe about half of that. And then I'm just going to take this piece and mark it. So I'm folding those and just kind of lining it up straight and giving that a fold. And this one I'm going to go on the other side. And it's not completely even and it's not a big deal. I'm going to leave this one long for right now. I'll get this one out. Use some double-sided tape. I usually normally just use wet glue because things like that. And tape after a while, it just, for me, I don't know if it's our humidity. I don't know, but I bought the strongest double-sided tape I could find, even used carpet tape. And had boxes pop open. So now you can use a combination of your wet glue and your or hot glue in this, or wet glue in your tape, or whatever, you know, suits you for gluing. Alrighty. Let's see here. Guess it doesn't matter what I got. So I'm going to take my box. This is my front. And I got a smudge there. Maybe I'll use this as my front. I'm just going to line up that fold. And I'm just going to line this up with the top of my box. And wrap it around. Wrap it around. I'm trying to keep it as straight on the top as I can, so it's not looking too funky. That's good enough. Now, usually mine will overlap, but I think I put the wrong one down first, so I'm not gonna. I'm trying to keep this where you all can see it. Yeah, see, should not have cut that yet. Now I have a gap. Oh well. Well, we'll use this one as the front now, and we'll put our bow there, or ribbon, or whatever you want. So now you just decorate with however you see fit. Now I'm gonna get some ribbon out here. And you can do bows however you like to do a bow. I always like to rabbit, do the bunny ear, or what they call bow or whatever. And then that's when I twist it and fidget with it if you want this to be, you know, own color. I just leave it loose, twist it and pull on it. And if you're covering it up with like a cabochon or something, it's not really going to matter. No, I just want to twist right. Get it twisted, and then I'll glue her down. You can use, you know, paper bows. It doesn't have to be a fabric bow. A ribbon bow, whatever you want to call it. My big bow is just a hair bit on that side. Those scissors are not the best scissors either. I don't have my fabric scissors out. There we go. Close enough. So, and then you can, you know, put whatever you want on it. I mean, but there is your little berry box, and like I said, now you can fill it up with whatever you want. Put some paper shred in there, and if you're doing the swap, you're going to fill it up with all your, you know, little goodies. Unless you got extras that won't fit, then I guess you'll be putting them somewhere else. Alright, that's not my best bow, but it'll suffice for today. So there is your berry basket. So you can do it any way you want, that way, or you can do it this way, and then if you want, on the one, I kind of curved it a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit at the bottom. I like to open up that, kind of open up the edges a little bit, out, you know, the corners up a little bit. And like I said, you would glue this in here. I didn't glue mine yet. You glue that in there. And there you are, your berry baskets. So if you want to join my swap, I'll link it down below, and you're more than welcome to come and join my swap. It's on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, my Instagram, I'll leave it down below too. It's KellyStone03. You're more than welcome to send me a message on Instagram, and I'll get you included in the swap. And so, yeah. So, there you go. There's some berry boxes. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. It was pretty quick. Once you make one, you got to pop out a bunch of them, because then you know, because you got Easter coming, you could change the paper up and just do it in Easter paper and make little Easter baskets. Like I said, you've got 5 pieces left over like this. You could, you know, put a little handle in here. If you wanted to, just put a little handle and make a little Easter basket. Decorate it in Easter papers. Or whatever. So, alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go to work today, so I got to go find what I'm taking in my lunch today and get this mess cleaned up. And get some other swaps that I'm in done. I've got 2 that I'm in, and I've got to get the 1 done because it needs to go out in the mail. Alright guys, y'all take care. Stay safe. Remember, I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.